Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Ashemarie and I like to draw stuff and share it here online. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week I am unofficially joining in the YouTube Artist Collective because I thought the theme for this time was really interesting. It's urban legends from your area. So I hope you guys like what I've got. Let's get to the art. I originally had about 4 ideas listed out that I did a poll on my Instagram to see what other people would like to see, and what ended up winning was the story of the Weeping Woman, or La Lorna, or Yorna. I decided to do the Weeping Woman for this story because 1, it won on my Instagram poll, and 2, the idea really intrigued me, and I've kind of drawn ghost women in white before, so I was kind of excited to approach this again in a different way than I had in the past and try and really get some more detail in there. And I really wanted to try and get some expression in her face, though I don't really feel like I truly succeeded in the final result. But I had a really fun journey with this artwork, and I'm so happy that I decided to try and join in on the YouTube Artist Collective, even if it's unofficial and I'm not really a member. But you know, I just like to share my art, and hopefully some of you guys out there will enjoy watching this. For those who have never heard the story of the Weeping Woman, in the most general terms, she is typically a woman who is very beautiful and that either married a man or fell in love with a man and had children with him, and then the man was either unfaithful or chose a new wife that was younger and more beautiful, and it drives this woman to madness, and she takes her children to the river and throws them in and drowns them without thinking. When she realizes what she's done, she, cries out and is immediately regretful and kills herself as well in the river. And this leads to her spirit wandering waterways, bayous, rivers, to find the children that she lost, to find the children that were hurt and killed. In some stories, it seems like she really is a wandering ghost who doesn't know what's happening, and others, she is a vengeful, malevolent spirit that searches out children. This was a really prevalent, I don't want to say story when I was a kid, but a prevalent threat when I was a child, because the area that I lived in had a lot of bayous around, and this was a great tactic by parents in the area to make sure children did not go and play by the bayou too long. There are many different versions of this story, as I kind of mentioned when I brought up that sometimes she's seen as a wandering spirit, sometimes she's seen as a vengeful one. There are so many differences in the Hispanic culture, La Lorna, just version of her. It's not crazy to think that this is a story that's been told for thousands of years all around the world. The story of the Weeping Woman is very similar to that of the Gaelic legend of Banshee. The Greek tale of the demigoddess Lamia is also really similar, and it just kind of shows how sadly women were kind of treated throughout the history, that this is a common story throughout the whole world. That's kind of depressing. I think we're going to move away from this subject now. Let's come to something brighter, like the supplies that I'm using in today's video. I started off the whole thing with a bunch of washes of my Liquitex acrylic inks, and I basically put down at least a little bit of color everywhere except for my main ghostly figure, and I like the way this came out. I don't really know that it added anything or if it might have just made the ends of a couple of my Copic markers really kind of weird, but like I said, I like the way it turned out. I like the final result, even if I think I could have effectively gotten there in a different way with a little bit different supplies. You can see here I'm going in and starting to shade my trees, and you guys can't tell yet, but I'm using the wrong color. I used my highlight color for my shadows, and now I'm about to come in here and destroy it with some really dark blue. Bam! Boom, there it is. And you can see by my strokes there I got really frustrated, and honestly I probably should have walked away for a while and then come back to the piece, but it was really late at night and I really wanted to get those trees finished before I went to sleep, and I didn't. I came back and continued working on them the next day, which is what this clip is now, and I mean, I like the way they look in the end. I'm just frustrated that I messed up some intense shading that I was trying to do and some some depth that I kind of lost out on by messing up there in the beginning. Once I threw the night sky on, it's not quite as noticeable, but I think I'd like to approach this again in a much more stylized way, at least for the trees, especially because I don't really feel like it specifically looks like night that much. Like, it doesn't look like the clear blue day, but I feel like I made the overall picture a little bit too bright for her, and I don't know what I could have done differently, but I would definitely like to approach this again in a different form or fashion some way. Other than my inks, I rambled a long time about that stuff, I'm so sorry. Other than my inks, I used my Copic sketch markers. I used a lot of my colorless blender for my Copics, and then my Winsor Newton white inks at the end, just to kind of finish some of the edges around her and to really define the flow of her hair. I had fun creating her hair because I really wanted her to be as, white and bright as possible, while at the same time managing to create some shadow and depth with her. So I think that was pretty successful. You can see I'm like going to town with this colorless blender right now, try and get that nice, really blown out look for all of that white that I wanted shading on. I am really, really happy with the way that dirt looks at the end of her scarf and her dress, and I'm happy with the way that water came out. Sometimes a partially dead marker is exactly what you need for a project, and that's why I keep them so long. You can see here I'm going in, trying to add a little bit more defining features to her face, as well as her, trademark tears, I suppose. As you can see, I'm wrapping up some of my white ink colors for a little bit of highlight and that extra strand detailing in her hair. Here are the markers that I used in this case. I will have the Ciaos listed down below since you can't see them on the screen. Here is the final piece, and I have to say I am really happy with the way it came out. Hey guys, so here is the finished drawing. I'm sorry, my video quality is not super superb yet. It probably looked better in the clip you saw previously, but like I said, I really enjoyed working on this piece, and I hope nobody minds that I went ahead and unofficially, you know, threw my name in the hat with YouTube Artists Collective with this piece a little bit. You know, it doesn't really mean anything because I see other artists here on YouTube unofficially joining every few months, so I'd be really happy if this could become a semi-regular thing for me. But if you guys liked my work or the subject that I chose, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked what I do here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think and what you'd like to see later on. As always, thank you for watching all the way till the end, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!